Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. This is Sean Higgs coming at you Thursday and NBA Thursday. And as always, I'm joined with Mr. NBA, Chirimbes, and Mr. Hockey, Doug Upstone. We're going to get to some NBA in a second. We did go 1-2 on Monday here with the free picks, but we'll bounce back today. We always do. No better time to check out the free picks or the premium plays than after a losing day. You know, we're going to get on it to get those winners for you. But before we get to that, like, subscribe, notification bells on here on the Winner Circle YouTube channel, so you know each and every day we post our free pick videos here. I'm on here a couple days a week. Chip, Jim Fice, Scott Pritchard do free pick videos. We got you covered all the time here. All right? But these are the free plays here. We want you to like, subscribe. I think we hit the 14,000 mark or 15,000 mark. Let's keep growing the channel a little at a time. Slow and steady wins the race. Be part of the family here at the Winner Circle channel. And also our sponsor, gamblersworld.net, where, listen, we do sell picks. That's where the premium action is at. Like it's I get it. Free is for me. You want the free picks to hit, and normally we hit a bunch of them. But you want the best plays, head on over to gamblersworld.net. As I mentioned, Chip Chirimbes, number one money leader here in the NBA. Doug Upstone, number two, hitting a ridiculous 63% on the ice. I'm having a pretty decent college basketball season, number two in the money there. With a boatload of games. But again, that's where the premium stuff's at. You can buy a day pass, $69.99, which comes in handy for Doug today because I see he's got 3 picks up, including a big game of the week. Why buy them separately? Buy them all for one low price. The day passes are great when there's multiple packages up there for the cappers on the page. And, of course, our multi-day passes, 3, 7, 30 days, guaranteed. We show you the profit over that time. Or we credit you back and you go out again. We got the leaderboard. Win or lose, always the truth. You see how everybody's doing in the sports. And that's it. Transparency. We're in here every day. You can comment. Hey, you stink. Thank you. I hate you. Whatever. We're here. Live show. Listen, Football Friday. There's only one Football Friday left, and that's really next week for the Super Bowl. But we'll be doing live through college basketball with the tournaments coming up. So be on the lookout for that on Fridays at 1 p.m. We'll see who comes in. It'll be an open session. I will be there. We'll see if these guys want to pop in. You can pop. It's nothing formal. We have what? We got a couple AA MAC games on a Friday night. Some Big Ten. We'll be looking at Saturday cards or NBA, whatever. It's a hodgepodge, a potpourri, will you, of our Friday now going forward with just one NFL game left. Chip, how are you? Good to see you. As I said, number one in the
wonderful
NBA.
Football weekend, and the basketball's trotting along. I stepped out of character the other day, and I gave out a total, and of course I had no chance, and it got beat. But it's not my style. I have to stick to sides. So 2-1 yesterday in the NBA. We won our megabuck play once again. Now 22-7 in the NBA with our top megabuck releases.
Speaking of NBA, and then we get to you know what, Doug. Give you a recap for your week, what's going on, and then I want to talk about the NBA real fast.
Yeah, Chip had an NBA winner, or a couple of winners yesterday. I had one, two yesterday with the New York Knicks, everybody's favorite team. Okay, so that was good. Hockey continues to roll, 6-2, last 8, 64-32. Okay, in hockey. So really just having a tremendous season, and look to keep it going. Hanging in there in college basketball, not quite what I like. 49-39, winning, never a bad thing. But so happy with that. So we'll just keep trying to get along. And speaking of NBA, I posted it was posted yesterday at Gamblers World, the latest NBA article posted. Talked a little bit about scoring. Okay, what's happening? That scoring is down. Some give you some reasons as to why. It has no effect, by the way. It has no effect on sports betting because the odds makers they adjust almost immediately. So that's out there. But for those of you that might be interested in first half bets as well, I provide you the worst team to bet in the first half, along with 3 others that are very good to look at. So make sure you check that out at gamblersworld.com.
There you are. You got the NBA and the college hoops articles at the Gamblers World website, so you don't miss out on those. As I said, for me, losing day, I say college basketball. I was, it was going to come. I mean, I was getting like close to 60%. I mean, that's tough to do.
Oh.
And a little more games than Doug here, 220 and 166, but 57%'s not a bad number. I have dabbled since the calendar's changed. Hockey 9-5, NBA 10-4. So I have jumped into the fray a bit here. So I'm 15-9 with NBA, 18-16 with hockey. Up a little bit though with the hockey because I'm kind of a dog guy there. So whatever. I'll try to find my pick and choose my spots here in those sports. I do have a couple of those up for tonight, but NBA. If you guys saw, did you see Adam Silver the other day with his ridiculous? Let's play 10-minute quarters. Your sport is ridiculously crap right now. Where teams taking 53 pointers a game, guys. We're not, load management stuff, and then they can't do it on the road, so they're just taking off at home. But they find an excuse to tweak a knee or something in the early part of the second quarter of a road game in a back-to-back, so he's going to play. The balls on these cats to say that Jordan and that 80s, 90s regime and the 60s and 70s legends played against plumbers and painters and guys who worked at hardware stores where they played full seasons, smoked on the bench, drank beers halftime, played all the time. Nobody got hurt. There was nobody sitting out with hammies and all types of crap. No. You know who got hurt? The guys who were 7-1, those guys, like always, you can't. The knees went. Not like these pansies today. A pampered group of people with personal chefs, masseuses. Let's be LeBron. I'm going to go to Germany for blood transfusions, for HGA. These guys have everything in the entire world at their disposal, and they can't play 48 minutes 2 nights in a row. Are you kidding me? I'm going to be 51 this year. I weigh 305. I can play back-to-back games 30 minutes. I might be a little winded. I'll go out and play back-to-back. I can do that. What is this sport, 10-minute quarters? I hope go to 10-minute quarters. I hope the owners say, you know what? That's 500 minutes over the course of the year. Let's cut pay. We're cutting your salaries 5%. I go 10%, but I settle for 5%. Chip, what do you think? You're the NBA guy.
I'm thinking that how much defense are they playing if they're taking 53 pointers on each side? I mean, they're not working the ball down. So, how much more is the exertion is it going to take for them to play 2 days in a row?
Is it? I'd see if it was a guy on the bench because his butt hurts from sitting on a chair, but they're cushion chairs. It's not even the old days. You're sitting on a wooden chair.
But they're nice big butts.
Lazy boys. I mean, what is this, Doug?
Actually, there's, if you think about it, there's quite a correlation, right, to baseball. I know you love to talk baseball, so here's your correlation. I mean, what happens in baseball literally every day? Okay, I mean, guys have to sit. Guys go, they kind of maybe pull a hamstring or a calf. They go on the IL for 5 games. Okay, I mean, it's just, I think part of the biggest problem today. Okay, and I know I'm not going to make the argument, the old guys were tougher and all this and all that.
They were.
I'm not going to say that I'm not going to say they weren't. Okay, I'm not going to go there.
Look, hold on.
It's a different deal. I mean, that's the whole thing. And so, with that being the case, I mean, you talk about they have personal chefs. So, well, the nutritional aspect of what these guys and how they set their bodies up. I mean, they're almost perfect in the sense, or they're perfect certainly in the real compared to the real world. And so, with that being the case, is that I think they're in too good a shape, and their bodies are so finely tuned, and now they make so much money that if they are out for 10 games or something like that, I mean, that's this ownership throwing away money. I mean, I just saw the other day, Joel Embiid just crossed 400 games, and was it $13 million or no? I know it was more than that. Whatever it was that he hasn't played, so he's made that amount of money for not playing. And I mean, he was injury prone coming into the league. He was injury prone in Kansas. I mean, so there's not a huge surprise here about that. Right. But it's too bad for the product. I didn't what your point, Sean. I didn't even read this Adam Silver thing because I just saw it. I saw the title. I'm not. Forget it. I'm out. I don't even want to know. Because I could care less. Fix your sport. Get the effort back in the game. get to where it's interesting. As I just mentioned, scoring is down, okay, this year. And it actually started last year. And certainly 3-pointers is part of the problem. But then the offshoot of the problem of 3-point shots, the percentages are not going up any longer on 3-point shots. They're flattened out. So now you're taking more shots, okay? And then you go along with thing is why is there less scoring? There's less free throw attempts, okay? That's a big part of it because you got guys that are 30 feet from the basket shooting. So that means there's less, bodies bumping, less free throws. So on average, because I found it and I actually researched it, that there's two free throws less per team per game than 2 years ago. Doesn't sound like much, but then that's 3.6 points is what it equates to, or should be 3.2 points, what it equates to per game, just on free throw shooting. Forget missed shots.
How many more 3-pointers are being made?
No, the percentage would, I didn't go that far, but if you compare it to 2 years ago, it's probably about 0.3 or 4 is what it would equate to. So it's negligibly more, okay, than what it was. There's more. There might be 1 or 2 more being made, but that's because there's more attempts. And right. So with that, so what is it? Right now,
that was my point. There'd be more 3-point attempts and less free throw attempts.
Right. But it's down. It's from 2 years ago. I mean, last year, right now, there are 5 teams that are taking 40 or more 3-pointers, and 12 that are taking 38 or more. And last year there were 3 teams. Okay, 2 teams that took 40 or more, and there was only 5 teams that took 38 or more. So there's decidedly more 3-pointers being taken, and it makes the product less attractive. I'm 100% agree on that.
If they're only making a couple more a game, even if it's like two or what it comes out to, you said it's kind of negligible. So maybe it's 3 a game, maybe 2, 3.
Well, I mean, when you figure every game.
Yes, but if they're taking that many threes, how many 2-pointers did that take away from? Like a regular jump shot and a rebound putback. So that's where the scoring would come down, because for every 3 you're maybe missing 2, perhaps 3 scoring opportunities from just a regular rebounding perspective from a 2-point shot, right, and a free throw that could come with it. Right. You're more likely to get fouled inside the paint or shooting 8 feet out than you are from 32 feet out.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, you're going to have less contact. And the other thing too that's changing, and you can see it if you watch the games. Besides the fact that scoring is down, defenses are also they're starting to figure out how to do this, because what changed the game was spacing. Okay, so you got one guy dribbling the ball, everybody else runs to a spot. Okay, that's what we see now each and every game across the board. So what's happened though is that because the ball seldom goes into the paint to a center, if you will, what teams have started to do is that whoever has the ball, they're cheating more, because nobody is doing backdoor cuts, or seldom doing backdoor cuts, and trying to run things towards the rim. And so because these players are stationary, just waiting for passes to come to them to shoot 3-pointers. So defenses have improved, and also you can see the defensive shooting percentages are also better this year than what they were last year.
I didn't know if the defense improved as these guys can't shoot. They all think they're great shooters, and newsflash, they're not. I think that's the major part. They think they're all Steph Curry, and they're not.
And to that point is that let's just face it. I mean, we're talking about golf before. If you where the line is, if you shoot 2 inches behind the line, you're going to make more of those than if you're shooting 4 feet behind the line. Okay, it just stands to reason that's going to be the case. So with that, and so many of these guys now launch them from 4 feet or more behind. Now there's such a thing as a logo shot is actually a thing. That kind of tells you what you need to know.
Yeah, logo shots. We saw the scroll. Joe Embiid, 400 missed games, $125 million earned.
There you go.
Yeah, but he only played like 12, 15 games. Where was it? At Kansas, and
Yeah.
and he sat out his first year and a half, 2 years as it was. They knew what they were getting when they started with this. So, I don't think there should be any bitching on their end, because you bought a product that it had a flaw without a doubt. Great player when he's there. When he's there.
I'd love. They should not get paid when they're sitting out. You don't get paid. Listen, you
forget about that.
Teachers
get sick days too.
Maybe you should send a letter to the union chief of the NBA, Sean.
Yeah, you got some shots, Sean.
See if you can get that working.
Well, and as opposed to these guys being tough, all I know that the dudes in the 50s, 60s, and 70s and 80s, these guys fought in world wars. All right, then they came home to play sports. Don't tell me they're not tougher. They lived in a whole different world than these clowns.
Larry Bird, there were games where he never even warmed up because he had such incredible back problems. And during the timeouts, he'd be laying flat on the floor or while the game was being played because he was in so much discomfort. I mean, nowadays, would he think about coming down the court? Or if he was somebody else, would they come out and play?
Yeah.
But, things like that. And
these guys people grow up with no air conditioners in their house. I mean, these guys, come on. Yeah. This generation of players, they're the cell phone computer generation. It's a spoiled, rotten sport. I mean, it's ridiculous. These guys, I can't, and it's strictly the NBA because you have your face of the franchise, the league. I'm not doing the All-Star game. I'm not dunk contest. Like up until the 90s, Kobe Bryant was doing these things. Like, how do you just sit out and you get a bunch of guys? I don't even know who the hell these guys are in the dunk contest. Who are these guys?
I've never watched. Never pay attention to it.
Sean,
you can bet it.
Well, the one thing I think that's undeniable: the NBA players are a byproduct. I guess is the right word. A byproduct of society. So if you're talking about them, I mean it's what goes on in the real world. I mean
listen. You see it in baseball, right? Because everybody's like, oh, they hit the home run. They got these big fling the back kind of crap. That's fine. But you know what? The next time you come up, I'm going to drill you in your back. Should still be allowed. You're going to show me up. You're going to get hit.
Doesn't happen anymore.
But it's part of the.
Well, that's the problem. That's because if you say something to somebody, oh, you're mean to me, and you're banned down to it. No. You're going to show me up after you hit a home run. That's fine.
You're trying to inflict pain. You're much too volatile, Sean.
I'm with you, Sean, on that.
I'm all for a guy. I get the catchers take a day off after it's like the Tuesday night game. Chances are somebody's going to be off on a Thursday or Saturday to Sunday. It's not basketball where they play 2 games a week. These teams play like 2 games a week sometimes. How are you taking off a game? You play 2 games, maybe 3. You're taking one of the games off.
And like you said, it's 48 minutes, and maybe it's 2 hours. I mean.
And they don't even play 48 minutes.
I know. How long are they playing? They have time. They have TV timeouts built into everything else. They can't even. Who gets winded nowadays? I mean, there's timeouts all the time.
The best player pays what? Maybe 43. I mean, I'd leave my guy out there the whole game. I mean, what are you doing? I want to win. I get the
bench. They play 43 in the postseason, but by and large, most of them top out right around 38.
I was 38, say that. Yeah.
You usually play what? You play like the first, basically the 10 minutes of the first quarter, and you sit out for the bottom 2 and the first 2 usually, right? That's how it usually works. Basically, starters.
Some generally something like that. Yep. Everything's on rotation. So no, it's just, hey, you know what? Like I said, this is where the sport is, and right now it's it's baseball figured something out to speed the game up. Okay, everybody liked it. Okay.
Yeah, a man on second base.
Tell you what, if you sat through them. I detested those 16, 18 inning games. I sat through a few of those, and yes, I could have left at any time. But hey, you know what? I thought what hockey did was a brilliant idea. Instead of that garbage during the regular season of playing for 4 or 5 periods. Get it for the fans. Get an outcome and get as quickly as you can.
But hockey was different, though, because they had the goalies. I mean, that was more based on you had goalies who took up the whole net, where baseball actually means you gotta mute yourself there, Chip,
I have a kennel.
Like baseball, an
I think
extra
someone's
game.
entering the properties. What's happening? Better
Uh-oh.
mute me for a while.
What is it? ICE is coming to get him. He's getting deported.
Hey,
Oh man.
Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, we can get him out of here. What the hell's going on, Jim? 20 minutes of me ranting about the NBA. Listen, that kind of stuff though. More time off for you guys. Come on, stop it. Stop.
No,
All right,
they
we'll
don't
talk
need
some
to
NBA.
I agree. Reduction of game is stupid. I agree.
No days off for us, Doug. We are here.
No,
we
no.
come at it all the time. We're not taking no rest for the weary here. We're ready to go.
What?
You got
350 days a year, right? That's about right. Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
What we do, 350 days a year?
More than that.
Well, you got a couple different breaks, that come about, and if you choose to take a day off here or there for some reason. So I'm just saying 350, is probably for most guys that are serious about doing this, that's about right.
Yeah. Sometimes I like the it's like a day off sometimes when there's like a late schedule on a Monday. You could relax. So there he is. He's back. He's back in the house.
Yeah, I guess the postman was here.
Kevin Costner movie, The Postman.
Yeah,
great. We should do a little thing on the Postman.
he knocked twice and they didn't like it. Never mind.
I'm gonna
John
start
Garfield.
Garfield. What is it?
It's an actor before your time.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about James Garfield, the president. Okay.
President. That's what I thought. Like Garfield.
No, I remember. I voted for him.
You were the one?
Yeah, the one.
James Garfield. This is great. People are gonna be like, "Who? What?" We totally lost people after James Garfield. If they weren't gone already after me bashing the NBA players, they're probably gone now. We're gonna go. Doug got the game of the night here with Houston and Memphis.
Yeah, great game.
What are we gonna say here? You have a Memphis team. It's a nice little revenge spot for them. Houston's kind of had the number a little bit, and Houston, great season. I don't think anybody really saw them really taking this big of a step forward. I mean, we thought they'd be better. I mean, they're really good. But I look at this number, it's up to a 5 now in some spots. I gotta leave. Man, you get smacked. What was that? 143 or 146 or whatever they lose to. Yep. This screams to me to take Memphis. But your game here, 5 and a 238 versus the Rockets. Go for it, Doug.
Yeah, what a nice 8 days or 7 working days. Well, I guess we're on the topic of work. We'll just go with that. We'll go 7 working days for Houston here. Swept Cleveland. Okay, the last one on the road. Went to Boston, won. Went to Atlanta, won. Not a bad week for them. Yeah. Memphis, you mentioned just had their 6-game winning streak snapped in the cement jungle there in New York. And Sean correctly predicted that the New York would take down the Memphis on Monday. I believe that was the game you had, right? Yeah, you had that one. So that was correct. This one, I started looking at the teams in terms of I think the teams are fairly equal. Okay, I'm not saying absolutely equal, but fairly equal. So I looked at, to see if there's anything in terms of any separation in head-to-head battles and home and away, favorite, dog, and really nothing. Okay, the only thing that stands out at all was the over, and it's a pretty hefty 236.5. But these two teams are in their last 11 are 8-3 over. So now that Sean put me in a good mood talking about the NBA, okay, about everything that's wrong with it, okay, feeling a little frisky now. Okay, feel a little frisky here today. So Houston, 17 days ago, beat Memphis by 2 at home. Now the Grizzlies, at last look, they're at -5, probably puts it right around 180 or so on a money line, and I think that has to do with the fact that the Houston center, I'm not going to say this is probably correct, but I believe it's Schengen, their center. He's questionable for tonight. So instead, I'm going to do a parlay on this game. Okay, and so I'm going to come with Memphis on the money line, and I'm going to go with the over 236.5. A $100 bet right now pays out at about right around over 190. Okay, on that. And here's the thing, but I'm going to also recommend to wait, because let's find out if Schengen's going to play or not. Because if he plays, because like I said, he's questionable. If he plays, that number will come down. So that to me just makes the odds that much better, because the odds will come down the money line and against the spread on Memphis. So, but I'm good to go. Give me a parlay. Memphis money line with the over in this game.
Official pick, Memphis money line over the 236.5 here.
Yep.
And again, it's saying sanguine, however, questionable with a calf. Even Morant's kind of questionable, but I think he's playing as well.
Yeah.
So his points went up from 21.5 to 22. So I believe, let's be honest, they're going to play here. Official pick, parlay style. Gotta love it. Memphis in the over. Yeah, well, that's all right. You gotta get views here. It's like the NBA. We're trying to get more views, so we'll go parlay. Chip, what do you think about this game?
I think it's a great game. I really do. I'm kind of upset. I had Houston 2 days in a row against Cleveland, and then I was so smart that I decided to play against them when they went and played the Celtics, and they win the game outright. Now I'm supposed to lay Memphis here. Memphis 31-16 against the numbers. Houston's great against the number 27-18. I think it's a really tough call. Houston's beaten them the last 3 times, and 6 of the last 7 they've played. Quiet, Fido. And I'd want to lay it. My instincts say to lay it, but I think this Houston team's really good. Like you guys said, they're equal. Taking the point should be a bonus, wasn't it? I got to go deal with this. Thank you very much. I'll be right back.
I like dogs. My kids want a dog. I get all upset when I see them on TV. I'd love to have a huge ranch and just take. I can't have them though. There'd be hair everywhere. It's bad enough between my daughter and my wife, hair everywhere. Nobody wants to clean up the poop. I can't do it. I can't. No, I'm done. I had kids. I'm done with diapers. I'm done with training. I love them. They're nice animals. I see them on the street. They come up. They like me. But here you go. Dog lovers, I'm sorry. All right. We'll see if he comes back. Otherwise, I'll start with my game here. Cavs and the Hawks. It's a big spread here, folks. We got a big number here. We're looking at a 10-piece nugget and a 2. Well, I see some 9.5s here. 10 and a halves and 9.5s. Doesn't make a difference for me. I'm going to look at Cleveland here. I got a Hawks team who have scored 96, 92, and 94 points their last 3 games. I got the Cavaliers in 3 of their last 4, put up 126, 131, 129. And their game they didn't get to that was a 110-91 win, which would have been a cover when you're winning by 20 points. The Hawks offense has been non-existent. Cleveland, it's been there. It's a biggie. I'm going to lay the 10. I can't do the total because the Hawks don't score 100 points. If you want to look at it, I should probably look at a Hawks team total under because it's definitely probably like a 103 or something. They haven't sniffed it. I just think Cavaliers win this one like 117, 103 or something like that. Give me Cleveland minus the 10. Right? Is that we got it in the chat? I don't even know. I got to find it. Yes. Minus the 10. Cavs minus 10 for me. We're going to hit with Chip because who knows? He might be the dogs might jump on him, start licking him. We don't know what's going to happen.
No, they're protecting me. There's a couple of stalkers out there. I think they had one of my Friday plays. So anyway, Cleveland started, 17-0, right? Then they got beat by Boston, came back and won 2 games, and then they lost 2 consecutive games. Mm-hmm. And they lost them to this Atlanta team, who just doesn't measure up to Cleveland at all. I liked what you said about the total, about going over, and I'm upset about the part about the Hawks offense being so inept, that you made me think about playing Cleveland over. Just the total for the for the Cavaliers to go over on that side. So that would be my play here, even though it's not my game.
Doug, I'm going to look up, see what the team totals are right now. But what do you think about this?
Yeah, it would make sense to me.
Yeah, well, Atlanta, 6 straight losses. They've fallen from 5th in the East down to 9th. Okay, so that's quite a tumble. They did cover their last 2 games to play, at least showing a little bit more effort. And I just love the fact that Trae Young came out today and said, you know what, he's confident they're going to turn it around. All right, so if that doesn't give you confidence, I don't know what does. So I have so much confidence in what he said is that I'm looking at Cleveland, their last 2 games, very focused effort, very easy wins after losing 3 in a row. Home favorites of 10 or more, revenging a road loss of 10 or more points, and coming off a game in which road game, in which they scored 110 or more points, 34-11 against the spread, and the most important part of that, the average winning margin is 17.2 points per game. Cleveland, the Cavaliers take care of business.
The Hawks team total is 114.5. I just had to bet it. 96, 92, 94, 119 against Toronto. You know how good Toronto is. 104, 110. There's a 119, a 110, and a 115, and then they had a 122 at Phoenix back-to-back. Who's coming to play today? They got Dominique and Moses coming back to play. I mean, is Steve Smith running in the Spud Webb coming in?
Or geezers.
I mean, what do we got going on? Or is everybody back in the game? Because it says Johnson's out. He's gone.
Johnson's out. Collins,
probable, maybe. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, 100%. But yeah,
I don't. How are they scoring? They haven't done this in 8 games.
They're probably going to give up 130, so it doesn't really matter.
The Cleveland total is 124.5, by the way. All right, official pick for me: Cavaliers -10. The Memphis Grizzlies parlay money line over 236.5 from Doug. Again, these are the free picks. Head to gamblersworld.net for our premium stuff. Now, last but certainly not least, number one in our hearts, number one in the scorecard here for the NBA, Chip Chirimbes leading the NBA on gamblersworld.net. Minnesota and the Jazz, a 7-point doggy, home dog for the Jazz, 224.5. Minnesota, nice win last night. You beat the Suns, but now you're coming to Utah. Not an easy place to play in Utah. Not a good team. They got, 10 wins? I'm happy because I got their under 29.5.
It's been easy for everybody else this year. They're only 3-16 at home this year.
3-16. Yeah, but still, Utah's usually a tough.
No, it has for the most part been a great advantage. Without a doubt.
What do you think about this one?
Well, you forced me to think about it. That's the first thing. And Utah's only won 10 games all year. But, Minnesota's covering 40% of their games. They're 18 and 27 against the number. This Utah record at home is abysmal, 3-16, like I said. Minnesota's beaten them the last 5 times they played. They covered 4 of them. But Minnesota's coming off that win on the road last night against an enigma of a Phoenix Suns team. And I think I would lean toward the Jazz here.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Minnesota's playing well. Won 4 in a row. Looking good. Turned it around a little bit, right? They're kind of ho-humming 500, 26-1. But, I just think it's on a good spot. You're going to give me 7.5? I agree with you. Utah Jazz plus the 7.5 here for Chip Chirimbes. Doug Upstone, thoughts on this one?
Yeah, well, I shouldn't be going against Chip in this with how he's doing this year, but I'm going to. But kind of for many of the reasons you said, 3-16, 8-11 against the spread at home, losing by 8.6 points per game. I mean, Minnesota is no bargain. Okay, I'm not going there. But then also don't like the fact, especially in the paint, John Collins is questionable. Walker Kessler is questionable. So that's 2 big bodies, okay, in the paint. Johnny Jazang, okay, nice player off the bench. He's questionable. I just don't see where there's going to be enough offense for them to do it. And certainly their defense isn't any good, and it's going to be less so without Collins and Kessler in the paint. I just think Minnesota scrambles away and finds a way to win by, maybe 8 to 10 points. So I'm going to go with Minnesota instead.
8 will get you there by an eyelash. That's a never in doubter when you win by 8, laying 7.5. Jazz official free picks here. Utah Jazz for Chip Chirimbes. Memphis and the over parlay paying about plus 190 for Doug Upstone. I like the Cavaliers. I'll lay the -10 there and a little bonus action at team total 114.5. They're going to score an extra 16 points today? No. Those are the free picks, though, folks. Again, head to gamblersworld.net. Doug Upstone, I see he's got his big WCC game of the week going today. He's got another college basketball. He's got ice up for you where he's number 1 on the ice. Make sure you get a packet. Good day for a day pass for Doug Upstone there. $69.99. Get all 3 of those plays where you don't miss out. Chip Chirimbes, again, number 1 in NBA. He'll have his picks up for you there. I'm sure he's got NBA today. I'm just guessing. He's actually, I think, up there in the college basketball leaders as well. So, Mr. Hoops. Can't even call him Chips. We got to what Chip Shot? No, that's golf Chip Shot. I don't know. We'll think of a new nickname for Chip here. And I got a little college hoops off 3-pack. So go get that. Number 2 in the money there. Again, premiums at gamblesworld.net. These are free plays. Least you could do, hit the like button. Leave it. I want to know what you think about the NBA. You know how I feel about it. I've been bashing it since September when we said we had to start doing NBA. I can't stand these crybabies. I can't stand it. Tomorrow, the live show, notification all on. You don't want to miss out. We'll be talking some basketball tomorrow and probably whatever. I'm sure there'll be some Super Bowl talk, prop talk, or some nonsense. The chat, it just goes wherever it goes. Gentlemen, have a good Thursday. Good seeing you. And I'll see you next month.